Now he has a little bit of an uphill climb. He's down 2-1.
That's right. But fortunately, he does have the Miracle Rogue, which he 2-0'd with in the initial game, and one of the games was against Hunter.
And when he did 2-0 with that Miracle Rogue, he actually played it really, really well. I was impressed with his sequencing. I think that his choices for which lines to take were really good, and showed a strong sort of mental concept of the matchups that he was in. And so I'm curious to see if he can take down Hunter, Hunter in general is much improved even against Miracle Rogue lately. So Nostam's got a flare on turn 1. Oh, but he picks up a web spinner instead. If you had not drawn the web spinner, do you just play the flare, or do you think that it's worth holding against Rogue to reveal stealth things?
That's interesting. I think it's worth playing the flare. But Nostam off to a great start thanks to that web spinner. Web spinner into Creeper is the new best opening for Hunter. New, quote unquote.
And he picks up a Direwolf Alpha off of the web spinner, which actually is not bad at all. It's certainly better than nothing. And web spinner, there's been a lot of variety off of web spinner. We've seen multiple King Crushes that didn't get played, and you could consider it almost useless, in that case, although they could have been good.
King Crush is like the worst card you draw from web spinner, which you think is the best one.
Yeah, it's really exciting.
Yes.
And the card is really powerful. It's just hard to it's a little slow, and it's hard to use it. Even though it has charge, you think of it as, oh man, so much damage right
Coin
now.
Handmaster on the Creeper, a very strong turn 4. Although he did have the Animal Companion. I think that was an interesting choice.
Yeah, I like playing the Houndmaster actually. And he's going to be able to clear out the front end of the minions. His opponent will still have sort of the back end. He has to use a preparation to do it. But ultimately that might be worth it, because otherwise there would have been a lot of damage crashing in.
Yep, SnipedAgain has that Azure Drake, has that SI7 agent coming in. So he's got some things to keep going on. Nostam looks like he's got two main options here, which is Direwolf Alpha and clear off this 3-3, or to go for the Animal Companion.
Yeah, I think considering my opponent has a 3-1 weapon ready to go, I would be very tempted to use the Direwolf Alpha and play a Snake Trap. I think that my opponent would probably be very likely to attack the Direwolf Alpha, and I would be okay with that. You get an immediate use with the creepers, and hopefully you get your Snake Trap to trigger and represent a presence. You just saw Fan of Knives go away, and you don't know how many your opponent is playing, so he's hoping that those beasts get something done.
Yeah, we have the natural fall of Badge Drake, and like you predict, I expect the attack here. Whoa.
He's really going to decide not to do it. I think it's because he drew the Blade Flurry.
Ah, yes.
Now he knows that he can use the Blade Flurry to clear out, hopefully, mostly whatever his opponent plays. Animal Companion comes down for Nostam. It picks up Leok, which is close to doing what he wants, but not going to be able to clear out the Drake, so he's just going to have to settle for attacking in for 3. Now he has a choice again. Does he play a trap? Does he hero power? He goes for the efficiency play and plays the hero power, which is really, really interesting, because freezing trap on Azure Drake is pretty good.
I'll agree there.
The unfortunate thing is that it leaves the spell power in play. Sniped again, immediately Blade Flurries, because he gets a 4 damage Blade Flurry. He doesn't even have to attack on the Leok to kill it. So a lot of damage coming in. Now he has the Azure Drake already developed.
Novice Engineer is an interesting card to put in the deck. It certainly is going to make it much better against Freezing Trap. We had Savannah High main, but he chose not to play it and chose the Flare instead. And what is he hoping for?
Nostam is really fighting from behind at this point. And Animal Companion is going to help keep a little bit of pressure up depending on what he gets. It ends up just being a Misha. It's probably better than another Leok, but maybe Huffer, especially considering he's holding Leroy. Huffer would have been really what he would have wanted to see.
Right.
At this point, it's really kind of a race for the hunters from the hunter's perspective. And SnipedAgain just has to make sure that he doesn't die and maintains the advantage that he has.
Right. That Snake Trap is looking like it's not actually going to activate this game. He has a chance to Cold Blood, takes it, and conceal? Perhaps.
Interesting that he decides to Shadow Step on his Novice Engineer. So,
wow, that was a really, really interesting play.
So he's making his opponent's potential Unleash Smaller
Mm-hmm.
and helping himself dig into the win. At this point, if he draws Leroy, he doesn't need both Shadow Steps. He only needs the one. And so he figures I would rather just draw a card into more damage and make my opponents Unleash Smaller. It's actually a really, really nice play.
That's a sharp play. On the other hand, though, the Shadow Step, well, both of them on just the SI7 agent represents 4 damage, which perhaps he could top deck for.
Well
He
played.
says well played, but is this a guaranteed win?
No, it's not. So there is a freezing trap there.
Oh, no,
so
it's guaranteed. He's got the Shiv and the SI7 on that.
okay, but he said well played before he saw the Shiv. I guess actually he has Shadow Step, so it was guaranteed. So he didn't know.
Ah,
He didn't
that's
know that
right.
he was going to be able to make it. He ends up drawing the Leroy, not needing it. Azure Drake, and he's playing double Cold Blood in his deck. Also,
SnipedAgain definitely has brought a slightly offbeat Miracle Rogue.
it's certainly something that it looks a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, but Cold Blood is a great card against Hunter. It's one of the cards that I consider to be really important in the matchup. And
Right.
I've even considered keeping it in my opening hand.
Wow.
Really, you need the presence in order for it to be good, but it's one of the main ways that you win, especially if you're going to win early. Cold Blood really gets them down to where you can finish them off.